Hi folks, this is the astrological forecast for the sign of Cancer for the whole of 2026. Let's get the basics out the way first, and then we'll have a look at the meaning of what it is I'm talking about. Now, unusually this year, there are two full moons in Cancer, one at the start, one at the end of the year. The full moon in Cancer on the 3rd of January is at about 13 degrees of Cancer, and the full moon in Cancer on the 24th of December is at about 2 degrees of Cancer. The new moon in Cancer is on the 14th of July at 22 degrees of Cancer. The sun will move into Cancer, which is the marking of the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere and the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere at 8:24 a.m. UK time on the 21st of June. Mercury will move into Cancer on the 1st of June through to the 9th of August. It's going to be with you quite a long time. But during that 9-10 week period, Mercury will go retrograde. It'll go retrograde over the 29th of June through to the 23rd of July. And there's a few of you who are really going to be affected by this. I'm particularly looking at those of you born from about, say, the 9th through to about the 19th of July. You're the ones who are going to get hit strongly by that Mercury retrograde. So during that period that runs from the end of June to nearly, from the start of June through to nearly the end of August, don't make any big changes of plan. That's my best advice. Venus will move into Cancer on the 19th of May and leave on the 13th of June. And Mars will move into Cancer on the 11th of August and leave on the 28th of September. Jupiter starts the year in Cancer. It's retrograde at the start of the year and it's still moving backwards. So it's particularly influencing those of you born around the 7th and 8th of July in the first couple of months of the year. And for all of those Cancerians born from the 7th, 8th of July onwards, Jupiter will pass on your Sun between the start of the year and the 30th of June when it leaves Cancer. So this is going to have quite a strong effect. It's going to be quite growthful and expansive, potentially quite fortunate, as long as you're strong enough to say, I'll stop here, I've had enough. Saturn starts the year in your fellow water sign of Pisces. And in the first 6 weeks of 2026, Saturn will be trining the Sun of those of you born from the 19th of July onwards. So if you're born at the end of Cancer, you should find that the first 6 weeks of this year are an excellent time for restructuring, reordering, and rebuilding. And then Saturn will move into Aries and it will square the Sun of those of you born from the 21st of June to the 6th of July over the course of next year, bringing an element of challenge and difficulty, but also energy which can be used to restructure, to weed, prune, streamline, to reorder, to change your priorities, and to concentrate on being more effective and more efficient by using similar energy in less time or more energy in the same time. It'll be particularly retrograde over the period affecting those of you born from the 29th of June through to the 6th of July. You're going to get Saturn squaring your Sun for 9 months. Uranus will be sextiling the Sun of those of you born from the 20th of July onwards, so just for the last 2 or 3 days of Cancer, up until the 26th of April. And then it changes sign and moves into Gemini, the sign next year, and it won't have any effect. So this suggests that there's no sign of big drama. Neptune, during January, is in the last degree of Pisces. So he's going to be trining the sun of those of you born around the 22nd of July. But then he moves into Aries and he will square the sun of those of you born from the 21st to the 25th of July. And if you're born in the first few days of Cancer, you're likely to find that next year has an element of weariness, fatigue. But I suggest this is a physical manifestation of a non-physical cause. If you're born in the first few days of Cancer, up until the 25th of June, then 2026 is a year for sleeping a bit more, having lots of baths, having lots of walks in nature, and not pushing your body too hard. Pluto, I'm delighted to say, isn't affecting Cancer over 2026. So if I were to summarize this, there's a few trigger points here that really jump out at me. I'm particularly looking at those of you born from the 21st to the 25th of June, because I do think that with Neptune squaring your sun, those of you are going to find that certain things are dissolving. There's going to be a less energy than normal around, and you may be feeling more tired than normal, and you may be finding that certain things, situations and people seem to slip between your fingers like sand and water. But for most of you, it's a relatively quiet year, and it gets quieter and quieter as you get into the second half of the year and Jupiter has left your sign. The 3rd of January 2026, the full moon in Cancer, that's a bit of a standalone one, that one. That's one that might be a bit difficult for a number of you. So don't let your buttons get pushed at that time. But overall, 2026 isn't looking that bad for the majority of you. Yes, Saturn's going to be squaring the sun of quite a few of you, and Neptune will be hitting those of you born at the very start of Cancer. But the majority of you are going to have a relatively easy year. So as far as 2026 goes, Cancer, don't make problems where they don't exist. Have a year of tidying up the old, letting go of things that are past their sell-by date, streamlining, weeding and pruning, and refining your energy fields. As far as 26 goes, Cancer, have a self-disciplined year.